welcome back. I know it's been a long time since I've done a video, but I figured this one was pretty straightforward. So today we have a very broken flat belt pulley. Couple of things. This is actually the wrong size bore, so we're gonna end up boring it to 1 1/8. But as you can see, this pulley's had better days. It at one point, probably decades ago, was repaired. They welded a new face on here, which it probably should have been brazed, but it wasn't, so it is what it is. And what I got is actually just a big old slug of steel, and we're going to just machine one from scratch. I'm going to replicate this surface, which is actually, as much as it looks flat, it actually has a crest right in the middle, which is whatever voodoo magic that makes a flat belt work, it gives you keeps it tracking straight. So I'll have to very carefully measure that and recreate that curve. We'll do the flanges just like this one used to have. We'll also do this recess detail, which will make it easier to get at the end of the shaft. And then we'll bore it to the correct size for the new shaft. And I don't know if I'm going to do the keyway in there. I might just see how that goes, but that's not part of my scope in this whole thing. I'm just making the pulley itself. So we have other people that actually have the proper broach and whatnot to cut that keyway. So anyway, we're going to get this chucked up on the lathe or get this piece chucked up on the lathe. I did a little preliminary checking to see where the flattest side was, and this bottom side is actually the most square. So what I'm going to do is chuck that up first, give a nice skim coat on this till it cleans up, face it off, put a center in it, and that way then when I'm working on this, I'm going to flip it again, and I'm going to do all of this detail next, and just get the counterbore done, get it roughed down to size, and then I can flip it the second time and grab on the inside of this feature to be able to square off the end and do the actual bore, and I'll, once I have it grabbed inside, then I'll have full access to this surface to be able to actually finish it out. But anyway, that's that. We'll get it chucked up and keep going. So as you can see, we're almost through this crust. We still got a couple little spots here and there that I'm not quite through. But before I go any further, I'm going to set up an auto feed on this, which requires me to change some settings in the gearbox. So that way then I'm not getting my hands with very hot chips landing on it. But yeah, basically from here, I'm just going to trim this down to probably 100 thousandths above finished size for the outer rings, and then we'll flip it around and start working on the recess detail. All right, so we got this all turned roughly down to size. We're about 20 thousandths over the rim size here. I took and drug the tool bit power feed back to get this front face really clean. I also took and deburred that edge so I don't cut myself. So at this point we're ready to flip it around the other way. And here's the kind of the thing is though, when this gets all said and done, I'm going to end up taking basically 1.5 inches off of this end. So we're gonna clean this up. We'll do the counter bore on it, get it real close to size, and then we'll, like I said, flip it around, part it off, do what we need to do to get it roughed down, and go from there. Well, it's running, looks to be running pretty true, so we'll just clean this up, face this off, and then we'll start punching this thing out. All right, so got this all cleaned up. I think we're 5 thousandths over on this OD. We got this faced off, and I've bored in quite a ways on this thing. I only need to go in 1.5 inches. So here's I got my boring bar all set, and I got a piece of tape marked. So as I go in with this thing, I'm just going to go to where the tape is. And mind you, that's another 10-20 thousandths shy of my mark, but we'll whittle the hole out, and then we'll make a final pass to clean up the back side of it. And really, I could go a little over because I could just face this outer ring off again once we're done with the bore. But I'm basically just going to take some really light passes and just slowly work my way out on this till we get to our finished OD, which I believe is 3 inches right here. Right, so we can just double check that real quick. Yeah, 297. So we'll probably just finish up the nominal 3 inches. It'd be good enough for this operation. All right, so quick update. I got it all bored and double checked my depth. Faced this edge off here, chamfered that because this internal structure is basically done. We do have the blank to size now. So what's up next? We're going to come over here with a parting tool, and I'm going to cut to give myself a nice visual of this shoulder. I'm not going to go full depth, but I'll just nibble in so I got a good reference. Then I'll come down here, cut this shoulder, and I'll probably take and just nip this backside here too, so I have good references for everything. And then I'm gonna come in and hog out the bulk of this material here. So I'll probably leave a little bit here, just whatever my angled bit will come in, and I'll just come up against this shoulder. And we're just going to come to this major diameter here and ignore those minors for right now. And I'll do, basically I want to hog it down to where it's the minimum amount of material while I got this good hold on it. And once I flip it, then all I have to do is just a couple light passes to clean it up and bore the shaft hole properly. All right, so I just took a quick measurement of this bore. I've been kind of whittling away at it. Got it to within about 10 thousandths. We're going to, and then I let the part sit and kind of cool down. So we're going to sneak in there. And I found that if I'm plunging with this particular cutter, it kind of tends to dig into this material. So I'm going to just go all the way in and just let it power feed back out again. That seems to give me the best surface finish in that bore. Alright, so we're about 3/4 thousandths oversized, which is where we wanted to be. I'm going to break this edge real quick. I'm going to slow the lathe back down before I throw my hand tool in there. Nothing like going full tilt on something. Alright, before we call this done, I'm actually going to flip this part around and bore or deburr the inside, because that's also got a really sharp lip. I don't want to leave it like that. And then once we're flipped around, we'll probably end up changing chucks after that. Well, this project is as complete as it's going to be for me. So there's a keyway in here. I did not do the keyway in this one. We're going to actually have a proper machine shop with a broach do that. The other thing it'll need at some point is it'll need this grub screw that puts pressure on the keyway to keep the pulley from walking off. But again, that would be something that's done while it's all set up for doing the broach. This surface here, where the belt runs, I actually took, and I didn't film it because I was kind of guessing how I was going to pull it off. And basically what I did was I very carefully measured the original and just did a stair step all the way down on both sides evenly. And I took a coarse file and just blended all that together, so we have a nice crown in the middle as is required. It's to the right size and the ends are to the right size, and pretty well everywhere in between is pretty close. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think it'll work fine, and we'll know soon enough once it gets the keyway put on it and run for real. But that's that. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.